The city roars and a notification lands like a stone. Your chest tightens, the comment cuts, the silence screams. Someone's tone shifts and your day collapses. You hand the steering wheel to others without realizing it. Your peace traded for reactions you didn't choose. But there's another way. An ancient technology hidden in plain sight. A method so precise it dismantles upset before it takes root. Today you discover how nothing and no one will ever upset you again. Not through denial, not through walls, but through understanding so sharp it rewrites your nervous system. This is Buddhism in action. Picture this. A master sits by a river. A traveler approaches and hurls insults. Venom pours like rain. The master waits. When silence returns, he asks quietly, "If I offer you a gift and you refuse it, whose gift is it?" The traveler stammers. The master continues, "Your words are a package. I didn't sign for it. It remains yours." He rises and walks upstream, leaving the traveler alone with his own fire. That scene is not folklore, it's instruction, a blueprint for emotional sovereignty in a world engineered to provoke you. The common enemy has a face, and it's not other people. It's the belief that they hold your remote control, the illusion that their mood, their verdict, their silence can reach inside and flip your switches. That belief is the trap. Buddhism names it clearly. You suffer not because of what happens, but because of what you add to what happens. The event is the first arrow. Your story about it is the second, and the second arrow, you shoot it yourself. A colleague dismisses your idea in a meeting. First arrow, a sting, immediate. Second arrow appears as a story. They never respect me. I'm invisible here. Now the meeting is over, but the war continues in your skull. You're fighting a phantom. The colleague moved on. You're alone on a battlefield you built. Buddhism offers surgical precision. Recognize the second arrow, name it, drama under construction, and lower the bow. Here's the practice. When upset arrives, pause, not to suppress, to observe. Ask 3 questions without judgment. What actually happened? What story am I adding? What do I feel in my body right now? The first question strips the event to facts. The second reveals your architecture of suffering. The third anchors you in sensation, not narrative. Sensation has a beginning and an end. Stories loop forever. A text message reads, "We need to talk." Panic floods. The mind sprints to catastrophe. This is the end. I knew it, but what actually happened? 6 words appeared on a screen. That's all. The rest is construction. Feel the chest tighten, the breath shallow, the pulse quicken. Stay there. Not in the story, in the body. Breathe into the sensation. It softens, it shifts, it passes, and suddenly you have space. Space to reply clearly or wait until morning. Space is power. Buddhism teaches that the mind is not a problem to fix. It's a garden to tend. Weeds grow. They always will. Upset is a weed. It arrives as judgment, comparison, expectation, fear of loss, craving for approval. But weeds don't rule gardens. Gardeners do. You are the gardener. Your attention is the tool, and every moment is a choice. Water the weed or water the flower. The city trains you backwards. It rewards reaction. The fastest reply wins. The loudest voice gets heard. The sharpest comeback earns applause. But reaction is expensive. It costs you your center, and once you lose your center, you lose your compass. You become a leaf in someone else's storm. Buddhism says something radical. You don't have to react at all. You can respond. And between reaction and response lies a universe. Reaction is automatic. Someone pushes you, push back. Someone ignores you, withdraw. Someone praises you, inflate. It's mechanical. Response is conscious. It involves a pause, a breath, a question. What serves here? Not what feels good in the moment. What serves the larger picture? Your dignity, your peace, your integrity. Response comes from the spine. Reaction comes from the wound. Here's a test. Someone criticizes you harshly. Reaction wants to defend, attack, or collapse. Response asks, is there truth in this? If yes, thank them and adjust. If no, let it pass like wind through an open window. Either way, you remain whole. This is not passivity, it's mastery. You're not a punching bag, you're a mountain. Weather happens. Mountains don't argue with weather. The mind loves stories. It builds them constantly. She said that because she thinks this. He didn't reply because he feels that. I failed because I am this. These stories feel true. They're not. They're interpretations, and interpretations are optional. Buddhism invites you to hold them lightly, like clouds. Clouds appear, clouds dissolve, the sky remains. You are the sky, not the clouds. Practice this. When a story arises about why someone did something, add 3 words. Or maybe not. She ignored me because she's angry, or maybe not. He criticized me because he's jealous, or maybe not. Those 3 words create a crack, a sliver of doubt in your certainty, and through that crack, freedom enters. Maybe she didn't see you. Maybe he's stressed. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Suddenly, the prison door opens. There's a deeper layer. Upset thrives on a hidden assumption that you know what others think, that you can read minds, that their behavior is a message written in code just for you. It's not. People act from their own weather, their history, their fears, their confusions. Most of what they do is not about you. It's about them trying to survive their own noise. When you realize this, compassion becomes possible, not as a moral demand, as a relief. Imagine this. A driver cuts you off. Rage ignites. That person is reckless, selfish, dangerous. Then you remember. Or maybe not. Maybe their child is sick and they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they just got terrible news. Maybe they're distracted by pain you'll never see. You don't know. And not knowing is the door. Through that door, your rage loses fuel. It doesn't disappear. It softens. And soft rage doesn't drive. It sits down. Buddhism names 3 poisons: greed, aversion, ignorance. Upset is aversion in motion, aversion to what is, aversion to discomfort, aversion to being unseen, unheard, unloved. The antidote is not eliminating aversion. It's seeing it clearly. Oh, there's aversion. Hello, old friend. You're here because you think you're protecting me. Thank you. I'll take it from here. That inner dialogue is not weakness, it's sovereignty. Here's a practice for heated moments. When someone's words land like fists, do this. Feel your feet on the ground, literally. Notice the pressure, the temperature, the texture. Then soften your jaw. Drop your shoulders, lengthen your exhale. These are not delays, they're resets. They tell your nervous system there's no tiger. The body calms, the mind clears, and from that clarity, you choose. Reply now or later, reply at all or not, but you choose. You're not hijacked. Upset also feeds on expectation. The world should be fair, people should be kind, plans should work. Should is a tyrant. It's a demand you place on reality. And reality doesn't negotiate, it simply is. Buddhism replaces should with is. This is what's happening now. Not what I wanted, not what I planned. What is? That shift is not resignation, it's accuracy. And accuracy ends suffering. Someone cancels plans last minute. Disappointment rises. They should have told me sooner. They should care more. Should. Now, try this. They canceled. That's what happened. I feel disappointed. That's what I feel. What do I need now? Maybe a walk. Maybe a call to another friend. Maybe 10 minutes of stillness. You move from demand to care, from victim to agent. The upset loses its throne. There's a story. 2 monks walk in silence. They reach a river. A woman stands at the edge, unable to cross. The older monk lifts her and carries her across. He sets her down. They continue walking. Hours pass. The younger monk finally speaks. "We're not supposed to touch women." "Why did you carry her?" the older monk replies. "I put her down at the river." "You're still carrying her. That story is a mirror." "How much are you still carrying? How many rivers ago?" Practice this. At night before sleep, review your day. Find one moment where someone upset you. See it clearly, then release it. Not by force, by choice. I put this down now. It served nothing. It taught what it could. I release it. Say it aloud if needed. That ritual is not magical. It's intentional. Intention shapes the grooves your mind runs in. Deepen grooves of release. Upset will visit less often. Now the advanced teaching. No one upsets you because there's no solid you to upset. The self you defend is a collection. Habits, memories, preferences, fears. It shifts every moment. The you of this morning is not the you of this afternoon. You reading this is not the you of 5 years ago. So what exactly is being threatened? A story. A story about who you are. And stories can be rewritten. When someone challenges you, they're not attacking a monument. They're poking a cloud. Clouds don't take offense. They reshape. This doesn't mean you have no boundaries. It means your boundaries come from clarity, not rigidity. You can say no firmly. You can leave harm. You can speak truth. But you do it from groundedness, not from the panic of a self under siege. Here's a koan. If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him. It sounds violent. It's liberation. It means don't cling even to your idea of enlightenment. Don't cling to your idea of yourself. The clinging is the trap. The loosening is the key. When you hold yourself lightly, others can't wound you deeply. There's nothing solid to strike. This teaching lands differently depending on where you are. If you're in a toxic situation, this is not permission to endure abuse. Protecting yourself is practice. Leaving harm is wisdom. Boundaries are compassion. But even as you set boundaries, you can do it without hatred. Hatred ties you to what you're leaving. Clean boundaries cut the rope. If you're in a good situation but easily rattled, this teaching sharpens you. It says your peace is not fragile, it's trainable. Every upset is a rep in the gym. Every provocation is an invitation to practice. And practice doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up again, falling, rising, adjusting. That's the path. The city will test you. Someone will cut in line. A message will sting. A plan will shatter. A judgment will land. In those moments, remember the traveler and the master. Remember the gift you don't have to accept. Remember the second arrow you don't have to shoot. Remember the cloud that doesn't argue with wind. Remember the river you can stop carrying. Breathe 3 times, slower than urgency wants. Feel your feet, soften your jaw. Ask the 3 questions. What happened? What story am I adding? What do I feel? And then choose, not from the wound, from the spine. That choice repeated daily becomes character. Character repeated becomes destiny. And destiny is not what happens to you. It's how you meet what happens. The secret is this. Upset is optional. Pain is not. Pain will come. The body ages. Loss arrives. Plans fail. That's the first arrow. But suffering, the story you build around pain, that's the second arrow. And the second one is yours to release. This doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. Clear enough to love better, work better, live better. Because you're not spending energy on wars that don't exist. Buddhism in action looks like this. A response delayed, a breath taken, a story questioned, a boundary set without rage, a forgiveness offered not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. It looks like walking through fire and not becoming ash, like holding your center in a world designed to shake it. It's not dramatic. It's daily, small, precise, and it changes everything. So when the notification lands, pause. When the comment cuts, breathe. When the silence screams, ground. You are not at the mercy of the world's mood. You are the gardener of your inner weather. And that garden, tended with attention, with patience, with the refusal to water weeds, becomes a sanctuary. A place where upset knocks but doesn't enter. Where peace is not a wish. It's a practice. Nothing and no one will ever upset you again. Not because you built walls, because you built space. Space between stimulus and response. Space between event and story. Space where freedom lives. That space is not empty. It's full. Full of breath. Full of choice. Full of the quiet power of someone who learned not to be moved by every wind. Share this teaching with someone who needs to remember their sovereignty. Subscribe to continue training together, the art of living unshaken in a city that never stops shaking. And when you close this, carry one thing. The gift refused remains with the giver. Your peace is not for sale. Guard it, honor it, live from it, and watch how the world that once ruled you learns to bow.